our school is called Academia Inglés Neo, and it was founded in Argentina in 2017. And we have opened a branch recently in Spain. So we are super, super happy to be presenting these webinars for free because we really want to reach the world. I'm going to start by introducing myself and my expertise. I am an English teacher, translator, and professor, and I am specialized in the fields of professions and work environment, and of course, giving presentations and hard and soft skills is one of my fields of expertise. That's why I am presenting this webinar. If you want, while you are connecting, introduce yourselves a bit in the chat. So if you want to say something like, hello, I am Maria, I am a student, I am a teacher, I am a translator, I am an engineer, or something like that, so we know who you are. And if you have any questions, you can also write them in the chat. Let me see if I can fix my light. Okay. Let's see, my manager likes it. Okay. All right. So now that the light is fixed, and I hope that you can hear me well, I have a manager on the other side who is telling me exactly if you need anything that I miss. So we are going to start by sharing my screen. And this is going to be recorded. So for those people who are going to connect late, you can rewatch this whenever you want. We actually know the news in Spain about the storm, the Dana storm, and we know a lot of people are having trouble connecting and working. So no worries about this. And you're maybe going to watch this later on. So I'm going to share my screen with sound. Very good. And let's get ready. So now you are going to see the webinar. Yes, we're going to present. Okay, let me hide this. Okay, so start by checking the title, subtitle. I'm going to ask my manager if everything looks okay. All right, it seems like everything is okay. So we're going to start hard and soft skills for professionals, real-world tools for today's workplace success. And this is a holiday in many countries, so happy holidays for those who are not working today. So let's start by the rules. So I want you to be respectful at all times with me, with the speaker, and also with the audience. Feel free to write your questions if you want, but questions are going to be entertained at the Q&A session. Like after the presentation, we have a Q&A that is for questions and answers. It can be about anything. It can be about this. It can be about English lessons. It can be about anything you need right now. If you need a solution to a problem, we can also talk about that live. If you're watching the recorded version of this, you're going to write all your comments in the comment section. This is the content. We are going to introduce what are hard and soft skills first for those who don't know. Then we're going to move on especially to hard skills that are all the technical things that you need to learn, and then the soft skills that are more like the emotional part of skills. And we're going to move on to 4, why the blend of them it matters, it's so important, and the practice that I prepared with scenarios and dialogues for you to see this in real life. So, just about myself a little bit. After 20 years of experience, I've trained a lot of professionals to communicate effectively and learn vocabulary, especially senior managers. And in many cases, I worked with specific types of people like directors who needed to negotiate around the world with people from different countries. For example, I recently worked with a senior manager struggling to communicate effectively with her team across language barriers. And in another case, I helped a software developer refine his negotiation techniques. All of this during their English lessons. By combining practical scenarios with tailored feedback, my approach equips professionals with the hard and soft skills that they need to excel in dynamic work environments. And I'm excited to share all this with you. So, we're going to introduce hard and soft skills now and why you need to learn them ASAP, that is as soon as possible. We need both types to stay competitive, and there is evidence that I will show you why the soft skills are also essential as technical abilities are. So the soft skills are interpersonal, so they are related to people, right? They are also related to behavior, and they are effective because they are essential because um, you need them in order to talk to your employees, talk to your employer, negotiate, like communication, adaptability, teamwork, empathy, interpersonal interaction. If you want to be a leader, you need your soft skills. But hard skills are technical and they are job specific skills. They form the technical foundation, the basis of a professional's expertise. For example, if you talk about coding, this is the hard skill. If you talk about data analysis or financial modeling or learning a new language, also spatial awareness when you're driving and you know where to go, that is also a hard skill. So, depending on the job, you're going to find different hard skills that are job specific. Now, why are they relevant? Both are critical in the modern workforce as the job market increasingly values professionals who can adapt, innovate, and lead in complex environments. So, I have some numbers to share with you, and this report by LinkedIn shows that 92% of hiring managers find soft skills as important as technical skills, particularly as automation and remote work redefine job roles. This is important. You need both. I wanted to find a practical example that everyone could understand about soft and hard skills. So, this is a robot called Pepper. And this robot looks very similar to a humanoid. It's a kind of human robot, let's say. And it was made to help customer care, customer service. Um, Now, it is used in many countries across the world. Now, the hard skills can be automated or taught to robots, but the uniquely human soft skills are irreplaceable. So, Pepper is programmed with hard skills. So, you will understand this better by understanding what a robot can formally learn. It can recognize faces, process language, answer questions. It can guide customers to different places. For example, for the Carrefour supermarket, it can guide you. However, Pepper lacks soft skills entirely. It doesn't have the capacity for empathy. It doesn't have the capacity to understand nuanced conversation, something very, very tiny specific to the culture, or adapting its approach based on customers' emotions. So you see how we separate hard and soft skills here. Now, this is a question that I would like you to read and write in the chat. If you're watching our recorded version of this webinar, you can write it in the comment section. So, which do you think is more important in your particular role? Hard skills or soft skills? If I talk about my own role, I think that, okay, hard skills is something that I learned, but soft skills is something that I have to use all the time. I have to be empathetic with my students, for example, all the time. Understand their frustration is very important for a teacher. So talk about that specific thing related to your own role. For number 2, we are talking about hard skills. So why is it a hard skill? This is something that professionals need today. You see the picture. So this guy is formally learning a lot of hard skills. This is a technical know-how for the current professional landscape. If you see the picture, you will understand what is a hard skill. It's something that the robot learned. Hard skills are critical in today's rapidly evolving workplace because industries are increasingly digital. It's more like everything happens online. They are data driven. They need statistics, they need data. They allow professionals to perform the specific tasks and responsibilities their role demands. Now, if you look at this chart, I'm showing you the features. Hard skills are measurable. I can say that I am a beginner. I can say that I'm intermediate or advanced or proficient. This is like a measure that I can give to my hard skill. It's teachable. Go to university, learn a hard skill. It's job specific. So if you read a job advertisement, you will see like specific things that you need to know, like Python or like French or any specific hard skills that are listed there. They are job specific. They are transferable skills. Why? Because if I learn how to become an advanced user of Notion today and I move to another job, I will take it with me. So this is transferable. Let me ask for water. And this is required by digital industries, by data-driven positions. Their mastery boosts individual productivity. It creates more precision when you are dealing with a specific thing, and it makes professionals more competitive. Now, if you want some examples, you can check this list. For example, when we say programming or coding, this is a hard skill, something that you learn when you go to university or college. If you say, for example, project management, this is something you learn. If you say, for example, data analysis or financial analysis, or if you say AI, artificial intelligence, this is something that you need. So take a look at this specific list and I will get some water. Thank you so much. Okay, excellent. So another thing is machine learning, cybersecurity, and blockchain. Now the hard skills by field, that was very, very general, but if you say, okay, I'm a doctor, I work with diabetes, what do I need? Well, you may need to learn AI-assisted diagnostics nowadays. You may have to learn, for example, management. Why not? Because maybe you're managing people there. medical device operations, or patient data privacy and security. That is so important, how to do this cybersecurity. If you say I'm a financial advisor, what do I need? Well, you will need to work on data analytics, on cryptocurrencies, on risk management. You will have to learn some investment management and strategy. You see, I'm a marketing analyst. Well, you will have to learn content management systems, email marketing automation when you are writing a newsletter and it will be sent automatically to people. Imagine if you had to do that by yourself. Not anymore. So there's a lot of automations that you need. Now, English is a hard skill because you need it for global reach, or market expansion, for cross cultural negotiations. So, what you want is, if your company is expanding, then you will have to learn English as a hard skill with specific vocabulary for that negotiation. And you will have to learn professional writing for persuading people, for being persuasive. Enhancing remote collaboration. So you have maybe employees in another country, so you want to collaborate, and you will need English to be your lingua franca, your business language, like a sort of medium. You need to build customer trust. You need English to communicate with people across countries, healthcare, communication, financial services, sales, of course, sales, negotiations, logistics. Think about Amazon. They have employees from around the world. So you need English to work, to be a leader too. So that's why we learn English, specifically designed. The classes are specific for every kind of job. Now, I have a question for you, and you can write in the chat or you can write in the comments. What is one hard skill that you're currently developing? And we move on to the soft skills for number three, the key to career growth. Now, the interpersonal edge in any workplace. This is something that you need, and you can see communication skills, persuasion, and negotiation, like the picture, are very important. If you lack soft skills and you only know the hard technical skill, then you're not going anywhere. You need emotional intelligence. You need to work with other people's emotions. For example, handling workplace dynamics. You need adaptability. We're going to check this term later, and critical thinking too. Time management and collaboration. This is very important, and this is a soft skill. So, what you want to see is the features. So, a soft skill will involve managing emotions. You will have to deal with your emotions according to context or situation, where you are, who you are talking to. You have to be flexible, and this is context dependent, because you will check, do I need to be empathetic? Do I need to act like a leader? These are soft skills. They are improved over time through practice. There's not really formal education about soft skills. It's usually something that you learn over time. Now, during our English lessons, we do teach soft skills during our English lessons. So that's important. We work with professionals. We think that the English lesson has to help the professional learn and succeed in their leadership role with the soft skills they need. So they are also applied across different roles. So if you're working this role, then you move to another, you're also taking that soft skill. So it is kind of transferable. They are essential for career advancement. If you want to succeed, let's say if you want to be promoted, you need the soft skills to deal with your employees, to delegate things, etc. They are inherently about interactions with people. They are about people. They impact atmosphere of workplace and contribute to problem solving a lot. They are essential for effective leadership. If you want to become a leader, you need your soft skills. And for collaboration oriented to achieve common goals. So there's usually this collaboration. When you use your soft skill, you also want to get something from the other person. So there is this kind of collaboration. Now, we have a couple of examples. For example, I told you that critical thinking, conflict resolution, cultural competence, collaboration and teamwork, effective communication and time management. Of course, you have to be adaptable. Creativity is a very important one. Problem solving, this is something you need to learn if you don't know how to solve things. So you will need the technical things, but also your soft skills. Now let's see the question. Which soft skill do you find most useful in your daily work? Do you work as a sales manager? Do you use empathy a lot? What do you use of all these skills? And I would like to move on to 4. Why the blend of hard and soft skills matters. How soft and hard skills together drive success. Look at the picture. You see a lot of things like passionate, humorous, ability to hyper focus, to be positive, problem solver. You have to be a troubleshooter. But why they drive success together? So you have to bridge the gap between both, like a bridge, yes? So the blend, the mix of hard and soft skills is essential for several reasons. Improved communication. So the mastery of hard skills enables professionals to understand and convey technical information accurately, while soft skills ensure that this information is presented clearly and persuasively. So this kind of mix is crucial for effective collaboration and for building relationships that are, let's say, long lasting. Now, for enhanced problem solving, this is important. You will use your hard skills, but you also need to use your soft skills in order to solve problems. For leadership and teamwork, leaders require a blend of hard and soft skills. You cannot survive on one or the other. You need the technical knowledge, but you need the interpersonal skills. For innovation, for creativity, combining technical skills with creative thinking, which is a soft skill, leads to innovative solutions and products. This is something that you need. You need to be creative nowadays. Now, if you look at these 2 job samples, I will give you a minute to check if you can find any hard and soft skills here. All right, so for example, if I say something like cybersecurity, this is a hard skill. Now, if I say excellent communication and problem solving skills, this is talking about soft skills. Is this soft skill learned at university? Well, not much, let's say. So you can work on excellent communication and problem solving skills during your English lesson. But we may not teach you about cybersecurity. You see the difference. If I say be positive and proactive, this is a soft skill. You can also work on this during the English lesson with a lot of TED Talks that we watch. If I say social media and customer support will be considered as an advantage, you need some hard skill there. Like, for example, social media is something that you can learn nowadays in college. Now, there's another job sample. Take a look at this one. See if you can find anything that you want to write in the chat, or for those who are using the recorded version later on, you can write in the comment section. For example, passion for teaching adults. You don't learn that at university, so this is a soft skill, you see? And if I say open-minded, friendly, accommodating. But if I say bilingual, then you need to learn the languages, which is a hard skill. Now, I do have here a lot of mixed skills. Now, if you take a look, you can tell me which one you recognize as a hard skill. So you can leave a comment with what you see here is a hard skill. For a hard skill, you have to think about things that you learn when you go to university, like maybe technology, something related. There's tech savvy. Graphic design. Now, if you make a list of soft skills, think about interpersonal relations, being persuasive, being accommodating, or being creative, for example. Yes, being organized. I will leave you a copy of that with the key. I'm not going to show the key much, so I'm going to send it to you if you want. Now, what skill do you think will be the most important in the future? I was thinking about artificial intelligence being a skill, a hard skill, and being learned, and how artificial intelligence will have to be taught in the future. Do you agree with me? Do you want to mention any other skill that you think is going to be important in the future? Just write in the chat, in the comments. Now, I prepared some real world scenarios because I wanted people to see different real things that are going to happen to you when you start working or when you continue working in your company or different companies. For example, scenario number 1 is the marketing campaign crisis. You see the characters are Emma, 32, marketing manager, and Lucas, 29, is a graphic designer. So they work together. Now let's see the situation. So Emma and Lucas were working on a major marketing campaign for a new product launch. A launch is when you release a new product, yeah? Just a week before the launch, they discovered that a key advertisement contained a significant error in the product description. The campaign was set to go live across multiple platforms, and the mistake could damage the brand's reputation. What were the consequences of this error? The team faced pressure from senior management and external stakeholders, that are the people with the money. Emma felt overwhelmed and she was anxious about the potential bad outcome, while Lucas was frustrated by the tight deadline and the need to redesign the advertisement. What was the resolution? Take a look at this resolution. The team worked late hours to correct the advertisement. Emma communicated transparently with senior management about the issue and the steps being taken to resolve it. They managed to launch the corrected campaign on time, leading to positive feedback from customers who appreciated the transparency and swift action. Swift, fast. This experience strengthened team cohesion and improved their crisis management skills, which is a skill that you need. Crisis management is also something you can learn through scenarios or situations. Now, what are the skills applied here? So, Emma applied her knowledge like project management software, effective communication, leadership by taking responsibility. Now, Lucas applied the graphic design hard skill and the adaptability by accepting feedback. So they were working together, and you see how the soft skills are two or more people are involved in soft skills, let's say. Now, let's check scenario number 2. This is a language miscommunication. So the situation is like this. We have Jake and Maria. Jake is a marketing manager, and Maria is a sales executive, the same company. Now, Jake was preparing for an important presentation to launch a new product in Spain. But Maria, she was responsible for translating the presentation materials. Now, during a meeting, Jake explained a marketing concept, but he used a lot of jargon, specific vocabulary, and a lot of idiomatic expressions that Maria didn't fully understand. So there was a language miscommunication. What are the consequences of this? Maria felt confused, worried that the miscommunication could affect the presentation. Also, Jake noticed that Maria seemed hesitant to speak up. He assumed that Maria had understood everything. As a result, they continued to work together, but there was a growing tension because Maria felt unprepared. Now, what was the resolution? Before the presentation, Maria decided to address the issue. She asked Jake if they could go over the materials together one more time. Jake adjusted his explanations using simpler vocabulary and providing examples that was easier for her to understand. Now, what are the skills applied here? So, Jake was using the teamwork, accommodating, and communication skills. Also, the public speaking, because he was going to give a presentation. And Maria was, her willingness to communicate openly how she felt. This is very important to communicate when you didn't understand something. Her confidence after she could talk, and translation, which is a hard skill. The last scenario that I prepared is a typical kind of scenario for a lot of countries, especially in Argentina. There's a complaint. So Carlos is a customer service representative, and Linda is a customer client. The situation is that Linda calls the company to complain about a smart device that had not been fixed after multiple service visits. Carlos, who had been with the company for over 15 years, handled her call. He needed to resolve her issue while keeping the company's reputation for great customer service. What were the consequences of this? Linda was frustrated. She felt ignored by the previous attempts to help her. Carlos knew that if he failed to address her concerns properly, the company could lose a valuable customer, and this would create negative reviews online. What was the resolution? Carlos used his soft skills, for example, empathy and active listening, to acknowledge Linda's frustration. This means that he uses empathy to become conscious. He assured her that her problem was important to the company and committed to solving it. Carlos used also his technical knowledge to diagnose the issue over the phone, and he scheduled an immediate visit from a technician. Now, Linda appreciated his quick response, which restored her trust in the company. So, what are the skills applied here? Carlos applied his empathy, active listening, and technical knowledge. While Linda, she could provide concise and clear explanations despite the situation. She showed patience, tolerance, and perseverance. Now, the question is, are you good at adapting your communication style depending on who you are speaking with? Can you adapt that communication skill that you have? Or are you always the same? Moving on to the last point here, we can practice with real-world dialogues. This is a very important practice that we do at Inglés Neo. We always use dialogues and scenarios so you can really feel and live and relive the situations. For the real impact, I like to say that it is a real impact. If you live the situation and relive it, then you are going to see like the results in a few weeks. So let's check some real authentic dialogues that may take place during a job interview. I thought that the job interview was a good example for you to understand the hard and the soft skills. They are easily spotted and discussed. So, for example, the first dialogue is about the lack of time management. And that's something that we all undergo. There's an interviewer and a candidate for the 3 dialogues. So listen to this dialogue. Can you tell me about a time when you handled multiple projects with tight deadlines? Yes, last year I was working on 3 projects at once. But honestly, I found it hard to keep up, and I often missed deadlines. I would work long hours to catch up, but it wasn't always enough. I understand. Time management is essential in our fast paced environment. How have you tried to improve in this area? I realized I needed a better system, so I started using a task management app. I'm still working on my time management skills, but I'm seeing some improvement. So you see that they are talking about time management, tight deadlines, working on multiple projects, which is multitasking. They are talking about missing deadlines, which means that you couldn't reach a certain time and date with completing a job. Now, time management is essential, and in the end, he will give a positive view of how he can make up for this lack of knowledge. In this case, it's a lack of time management, which is a soft skill. But let's see dialogue number 2. Lack of coding proficiency. See the picture? This is coding. This is a hard skill. I cannot teach this during my lessons, okay? This role requires strong coding skills in Python. Can you describe your experience with it? I've done a few basic projects in Python, but honestly, I'm not advanced yet. Most of my programming experience has been in Java, so I need time to get up to speed with Python. So he's kind of worried. The interviewer says, I see. Python is a main language here. Here means in this company. So it's essential. How do you plan to develop your skills in it? I've actually started a Python course and have been practicing with small projects on weekends. I'm confident that with some training, I'll reach the level needed for this position. So it's also positive, giving a positive attitude, which is also a soft skill, about the hard skill that he needs. Now let's check dialogue number 3. In this case, this is a soft skill. You can see the girl with the help poster. Lack of conflict resolution. Now the interviewer says, tell me about a time you faced a disagreement with a coworker. How did you resolve it? And the candidate answers, there was a time when I disagreed with a teammate about the approach to projects. I ended up avoiding conversations with him, which wasn't the best decision. We didn't communicate well, and it affected our work. The interviewer says conflict resolution is very important, especially when working in a team. How do you think you could handle it differently next time? I realized that avoiding the issue made things worse. Now I'm trying to practice open communication by addressing disagreements early on. I'm also taking an online course on conflict resolution to improve in this area. So you see that this is a soft skill, and she's also presenting a positive way to include what she's doing in order to improve it. Now, are you good at staying updated with the latest trends and tools on social media? Social media is a kind of hard skill that you need in order to get more connections with people. So, in order to network. Now, are you updated with it? Now, my students finally ask me all the time, especially new clients, but can I learn soft, hard skills during my English lessons? And the answer is yes, always. So the classes are tailored, so you can choose all the things that you need to learn, and you will learn that in English. Our coaches and teachers prepare to provide you with the right thing that you need so that in a few weeks you can see all the progress. Of course, if it is accent reduction, we are so specialized in it. But maybe you need a course on effective communication or cultural awareness. So you say, like, for example, my student from Argentina, he works with Egyptians. He travels to Egypt a lot and he needs a lot of understanding of cultural awareness about Egypt. So, when he needed help with this, I prepared special classes designed to understand the culture, religion, some things about how people reacted to things during negotiation, understanding the accent, because this is a different English accent spoken there. So you will see how, for example, empathy can be taught during your English lessons through a lot of different dialogues and situations and scenarios. Specific terminology. This is something normal, usual. You don't have to worry about that. You just say, okay, I'm a dentist. I need to learn about dentistry, or ortho, or any other sort of industry. And we will teach you the terminology that you need, how to pronounce it, and we will always teach it in context. So, as you are learning specific terminology, you may want to practice, maybe, just maybe, you have to give some public speech. So if you have to give presentations with that specific terminology, you can learn the terminology and give the presentations to us, to your teachers. So it is important to say yes to this and to open the door to tailor your classes to whatever it is that you need for yesterday. For the hard skills, you can learn them for tomorrow. So you can learn Python for tomorrow. But the soft skills like effective communication in English or pronunciation, this is something you need to learn for yesterday. So you need to start now. And that's how you can make a reservation. You can say, I need a lesson, and you can send an email to us. You can ask for a free copy of this webinar. You can watch the other webinars that we have. And now I will go to the Q&A. But first, I would like to thank you for joining and for watching us on YouTube. And I would like to ask you to subscribe. Most of our let's say clients who watch the videos are not subscribed, and we would like you to subscribe because that is something that will help us a lot in order to continue with these free webinars, and more people get recommendations from other people. So this is our phone number, this is our email, and you can contact us. Thank you so much. This is just an overview of our academy. You can find us online. This is my name. I'm the academic director, Melissa Sotile, and we have Leo Garcia as a sales manager. And you can hire our group of teachers and coaches that are a big team. So let's see now. I'm going to go back to my YouTube and stop sharing. Okay, very good. So I'm going to check some questions that I have. Okay. Let's go to the webinar questions. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, let me pull up some questions that I have. Okay, how can I tell which soft skills I need to work on? This is a question that I got from... Okay, this is a question from Natalia. So you can start maybe by asking some colleagues or managers for feedback. When you ask a colleague or a manager, they can tell you if you need to work on some soft skill. We can also work on that during my English lessons. I can work on your soft skills and check certain situations, how you would react. So we can check with also my feedback. And you have to be ready to react in a positive, constructive way to those, comments that you will get. I have another question from Jose. What is the best way to show soft skills in my resume or interviews? Show your soft skills. Okay. Well, you can describe the situations where you use the skills, providing scenarios that are similar to the ones that I showed. You can check some interview techniques during your English lesson, so you can become confident again. And you can explain this with one or two scenarios, and then during your interview you can explain and be ready with a few scenarios that you can use. The scenarios should be not too negative. Let's say you're not going to show negativity, or you have to be proactive. Show that you're fixing those soft skills. Okay, can you give more examples of hard skills that work in many jobs? Well, for example, data analysis, also project management is something that I see all the time across jobs. I'm thinking that technical skills like video conferencing. For example, nowadays you need to know how to use Zoom, Meet, Meet Teams, and for some countries, Skype. That is something that you need for all the jobs. Also, Outlook email. For some people, it's challenging. How do I choose which hard and soft skills to focus on? Okay, so maybe you have to focus on what you need in your field, what is needed. Check the Go to LinkedIn, check the jobs, and you will see a list of jobs with a list of different soft and hard skills mentioned. And then you can check what you need, what is needed. Maybe for that, we can talk about it during our lessons if you want, for real life scenarios too. How can I improve my soft skills if my job doesn't give training? Yeah. It's just that soft skills are not really something that they don't offer, like training. I remember this one company that had like a special, it wasn't a department, it was like a person that came once a week. It was a software engineering company. A person came once a week and they were like work coaches. But the early times, I'm talking about 15 years ago in Argentina, I remember this software company called Baufest. And I remember that they had a person coming once a week to provide employees with those soft skills that they lacked. For example, communication, teamwork. So they would practice certain situations. That is what I do during classes too now. For example, in my English courses, I role play, for example, a lot. I do exercises where you can feel the situations and you can actually live and relive the situations. Okay, so I really appreciate those who have been there, and I know that a lot of people could not connect because of the Dana storm. We are very sorry about what is happening in Spain, um, especially near the coast. There's this huge storm called Dana, and it's really devastating. So thank you so much for those who were here. And for those who are going to watch this later on, you can always send me messages with your questions and also with the things that you thought were really useful about skills. So thank you so much. Hi, Dani. Thank you for being there always supporting, always supporting me. Thank you for being there and see you next time. And I will continue answering your questions. If you have any question, I will give you a couple minutes now. I think we have 5 minutes, right, manager? Yes. I will give you a couple minutes to see if you have any questions about skills. I'm sure that you're going to see the rest of the information I also included during this webinar. I included like 3 different activities for you to do at home, and I will send them to you. I think I'm going to upload them and send the link. That's it. Because these activities are for you to understand soft skills, big different but necessary, different from hard skills. So I'm going to see you during our next webinar. Thank you so much and see you soon.